they're at. Does that make him worth the pick, though? That's the big question.
I'm still not a fan of the Earthshaker. I think it can work if you have someone like a Warlock to set up team fights or just go for like massive team fight in general. But it always feels like before level 6 or before he picks up the Blink Dagger, he's just a one-trick pony. And against the Wind Ranger, the Jakiro, what are you going to do on your Earthshaker? Are you going to harass anyone? No. So you're mainly the tool on the safe lane for pulling or for setting up a kill with additional stunts. So you either go for a massive amount of stunts on Pepehands, or what you have to do is, well, you better hope you don't get run over by minute 15 until the Earthshaker gets a Blink Dagger. And then you have a potent combination. But before that, he says, I fissure, and then I go and hope I have some clarities.
He's always been very close to Sand King, and I think many people's minds, for good reason. Like, they're strength heroes that their primary goal is to stun somebody, and have a little bit of team fight. They function very similarly, but Sand King is... typically just more useful. He outputs more damage in the early stages because he can get closer. He doesn't have that wall aspect, obviously. That's the big kind of argument for Earthshaker, but Earthshaker pre-Blink Dagger is just such a miserable hero. You get the fissure, you throw it out, and then you're done. And sometimes up against certain heroes like Clockwork, you can't even do that. So Detonator are going to immediately answer the Earthshaker with the Clockwork. I'm with you on the Earthshaker. I think that he's feasible as a last pick supporty type hero if that's still what you need, but you also need to have heroes like SF or Sniper or these long range heroes that need physical barriers to protect them. Currently they don't have those.
Yeah, again, like Earthshaker, you don't tend to do anything, so might as well stack up on stunts or stack up stuff that is really hard to hit. So you can go for like follow up. Heroes like Slark, for example, match quite well with him, but he is banned out. Because you can not only lock your in, but you can also, in general, hit your pounds 100%. And with S&Shift you trade out. But no Slog here. What would be a good hero for Pepehands? Something team fighty that isn't Void. He's banned anyways.
Yeah, it would be hard to pick up a Void at this stage. Bloodseeker.
Yeah, because he's banned.
Yeah, getting banned out earlier along with that Lycan. Okay. Here's something a little bit more current. Let's say current. I don't mind the Mirana. It may be a little bit deceptive though. Earthshaker Mirana is not really a great Mirana setup because what fissure is only like a 1 second stun or something like that. It doesn't really stun for that long, so arrow travel time is a little bit lacking unless you throw it out beforehand. That being said, just having a Mirana to get farm and to kind of soft counter the Clockwork together with the Fatal Bond, Starstorm becomes a disgusting tool. So it just is a hero that is going to be difficult for Detonator to actually answer. Clockwork does not like playing up against heroes with any sort of mobility, especially in a support capacity, especially early on.
Yeah, and it's not only the Starstorm, as you mentioned, with the Fatal Bonds, it's also the fact that you build into that Maelstrom on a Miran. You get it quite early on, meaning all of these procs actually share the damage as well. And with the leap attack speed, you probably get like 4 or 5 procs of these, so you quadruple up your damage with those. So I'm a fan of the Mirana pickup, not only because it's Mirana, but also because she is pretty good in this meta. And with the recent Wind Ranger nerfs, she has become quite a good tool against the heroes like Wind. Because Wind, don't forget about it, Maelstrom actually pierces through evasion. So you can still damage her, and you can actually man-fight her, because you have so many hits.
Enchant Totem does so also. You gotta remember these things.
Nice.
Random-ass mechanics that usually don't do anything. And then sometimes, like, oh, the Wind Ranger has 1 health left. Let me just hit her with my Enchanted Totem. Easy. Pepehands now going up against the DK, as Detonator are putting together quite a bit of push. Still, the Drow Ranger scouting has to be there because the Drow Ranger for Detonator is still a possibility. But Pepehands, they pick up the Mirana. Now it looks like going to be going towards that good chance for that offlane in a dual lane capacity. Non-zero chance for mid, although it's not really ideal. Spectre almost for sure going towards that safe lane. That is a hero that Detonator can put quite a bit of pressure on. Again, we mentioned that poke of a Wind Ranger Jakiro lane. Spectre really doesn't have much game against that, and Warlock only has so many heals.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the Spectre pick. A little bit intrigued about the Zeus ban. Wonder if they're setting up for a Tinker. That would be a grave mistake, though, against Spectre. Spectre in general, like, where's your sustain in lane? Are you just solely relying on the Warlock? I just feel like the moment the Warlocks raise down the Shadow Word on the Spectre, they just turn and kill the Warlock every time. And Mirana in the mid lane isn't as strong. You really need that safe lane farm, like especially because he's up against the Dragon Knight. He's gonna struggle with last hitting for the early stages of the game. He has to reach that Maelstrom fast, otherwise he gets locked down by Wind Range, he gets locked down by Clockwork. Not quite sure if this is the pick with the Spectre, or at least not right now. I think they should have waited with Spectre to the very last pick.
I think in general, Spectre's just that type of hero. Like whenever I or any other caster is like, oh yeah, you have these weak safe laners, Spectre is the weak safe laner. Like she is the poster child of exactly that phrase. Sorry guys, had a quick OBS crash again. I don't know why it's constantly doing this. It like crashes every so often, but it's better than before. So we should be back right now, and I mean it's the draft, so you guys didn't miss anything exciting. But yeah, Spectre's definitely a very, very abusable hero. They'll take out the Troll Warlord, scared of that push. I mean, Spectre, I guess, is somewhat of a deterrent for Ja Ranger. Early on, Spectre gets dumpster, but later on, yeah, you have a good matchup. And now we have a puck for Pepehands. A little bit more team fight, a little bit more initiation, and you know, this is a situation where Shaker kind of seems to get a little bit better. You have all this chaos being created with the puck to create space in the Mirana. From the core standpoint, this is where support Shaker actually gets some time to farm for that Blink Dagger.
10 seconds.
Yeah, like they have a really heavy focus on team fight, and the puck kind of holds it together with the coil. On the other hand, you have oh no.
Choose your hero.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Ew. Hold on, I just gotta get back like a little bit from my screen. It's an anti-mage. Disgusting. Go away there.
So,
are you an anti-mage fan?
Usually the question is, can the team going up against anti-mage apply enough pressure to end the game or to get into a kind of decisive position before AM gets to a critical mass? That same question is usually presented to Spectre, or to teams going up against the Spectre. So we have ourselves some pretty heavy late gamers in this game. This seems like a really kind of old style of draft where you have these like super hard carries and you have a whole bunch of kind of like space creators, and there's going to be battling so that their carries can get that room.
Yeah, this looks like one of these old drafts where you have like 4 supports roaming the map trying to do something while the carry farms. And nobody can do anything without the carry.
Yeah, we're talking like
just
6.xx patch time, like that long ago.
Back then, when Dota was not that much fun because
before 3D
Naga
was
core
invented
was a thing.
in Dota. Back when it was a 2D game.
Back when Naga Siren core existed.
When
God,
Naga Siren was, I think, channeled. I think that was a thing. Yeah, we're going way back. But yeah, AM is
interesting. Offlane Mirana, it's the mid puck, so they're not sticking him to the offlane. Not quite sure what I think about it, but against the AM, I think this works because Mirana is really good. Like she doesn't need much mana, so she can comfortably take up some hits from the AM. And of course, you first pick AM. Wow. Report. Yeah, but Mirana, I've seen it many times, from my pub games to official games, against heroes like AM. Yes, you have a blink, but guess what? Mirana has 3 leaps. You expand 2, and then you have to have another leap to just dish out damage, and AM is not tanky. Not tanky at all whatsoever. He relies on escaping with the blink. If you have a Maelstrom early on, yes, the damage gets reduced, but she still hits pretty hard with level 10 talent, and like the Maelstrom damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I just see this AM getting hunted down all across the map, and there's not many defensive tools to help him out.
Right now he will have, or at least right now, he will have the advantage of slightly better animation. I say slightly, much better animation. He'll have the Quelling Blade, so laning phase, he should be getting a little bit. Of course, it's always that race for the Battle Fury. I don't think that'll ever really change on the Anti-Mage. I certainly don't think it's changed up till this point, so he should still be going for that route. But Earthshaker, Mirana, it is still kind of a dangerous lane. The Anti-Mage probably isn't going to die ever. but he's
Oh,
also going to be in a
don't jinx
position
it.
where he can't always move forward and comfortably get CS. So we have ourselves a little bit of a play on this bottom lane. Again, the creeps be oblivious. And this is actually a pretty nightmarish lane for the Spectre. She does not like going up against Clockwork ever. Not because of this necessarily, because of the mana drain that's associated with that, and of course the battery assault later on, but that combined with the Wind Ranger just right-clicking you occasionally, not a fun lane to be a Spectre.
Yeah, talk about no fun. You said AM won't die top at all. I think like with these 2 stuns and some physical damage, they have a chance of killing him off, especially once they reach the later levels, like when it's the later laning phase. So I think it is going to be fine on the off lane for Pepehands. Bottom lane looks rough, but stay positive. The Jakiro isn't here, so Spectre might have a chance.
Well, the Jakiro might be there soon because he's going to take a quick trip to the base. He'll have a TP out, and that was, yeah, again, not a huge setup. You don't have, I think the big one is Nightmare, right? Like Nightmare Mirana, that's the combo. Fissure stun duration is just 1 second, but you don't really need a super long-range arrow to kill a hero. As long as the stuns land, it's all about those right clicks in between, and it's just enough to kill off a Jakiro. So they get the pretty easy kill there, but this is pretty much what I would expect out of this lane. They may be able to kill off the Jakiro, and then Abing is just kind of farming all the while with that Quelling Blade, and you can't really challenge that CS as the Mirana. So he's still going to have a good time, Anti-Mage. Jakiro is still kind of needed here, though. Otherwise, the Anti-Mage just takes way too much chip.
Yeah, he can comfortably take all of these denies early on. Mirana relies on solely on the experience. Mid lane. I haven't talked about the mid lane yet because, I mean, we briefly mentioned it, but they did put the puck in mid lane, and we questioned it, or I would question it a little bit because usually that's the last lineup you want. Puck is a hero that wants to dominate his lane under all, like at all costs, and DK is really good at just sitting there last hitting, not really caring about the harassment from the puck whatsoever.
Yeah, DK is always kind of just like a blank lane. Like, you don't really have to worry about him as far as he's going to be killing you. Oh, they found the Jakiro again with that combo. There is a Fissure here. Tootie's going to leap forward once, still has one more. I don't know if he needs it. He will leap forward and use it and get the kill. There you go. Anti-Mage in the meantime, just not even looking. You're just farming. Standard practices. And bottom lane, they are going to fail the shackle. Cat does have a dagger here. I don't know if he can go for that wind range. Actually, she does not have the wind run. Insidia's going to find some cover in the creep wave, but the right clicks from Oa, not enough damage. He is slightly faster, though. Cog bump back, still not enough damage. And they kill off the AM in the meantime. I have chose the wrong fight to watch. Power Shot is off the mark, and the Warlock will survive. So they get 2 kills around the map. Looks like that may have been, yeah, just an arrow and a fissure setup yet again.
No, this was AM diving under the tower. He tried to kill
really?
the Mirana, but there was a self, and he got. Maybe you shouldn't dive with a level 3 AM. I'm not quite sure though. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Wait, you're saying that AM is a bad early game hero?
I'm saying he might not be the best suitable hero if it comes to diving a hero with ability spells.
So, yeah, that's not exactly ideal. Though Spectre's also getting a remarkable amount of CS. I think a couple of these last hits are cogs that she killed, but I would assume most of that is real creeps, so she's not doing too bad, at least not nearly as bad as I thought. And oh, the arrow fissure again! This time, the Jakiro had a chance to dodge, but he kind of walked right back into it. Humble, stunned for an eternity, and oh hey, even the puck coming in to steal the kill. It's a kill for the team, and it's another death on the Jakiro. And, I mean, many supports would be kind of feeling the same thing. It's not because he's Jakiro, he's dying to this, but this is a really awkward spot to be a Jakiro, because, like, okay, I'm level 2. This is where I'm supposed to be at my strongest, and I'm getting dumpstered.
Yeah, pretty much, like, I mean, I'm all about to make a mean comment about, you know, when you said the fissure won't be enough to set up for arrows?
Hey,
but
that one he had a chance to dodge, and he walked into it. Yeah,
I mean, maybe he was a goalkeeper before he went to Dota, you know, catching all the arrows. But yeah, it is pretty rough dying on the Jakiro that easily, and there's really not much you can do. Like, everybody who tried to rouse is just can't turn around and kill you.
Oh, this TP from the
City,
Clockwork.
yes.
I love
Cheeky
that.
TP.
Just, what is that, like a 2000 range TP just to get in front of the Warlock to get the kill? I mean, yeah, you make that play, because your DK is definitely going to love you for it. But Warlock, having died there, he's only level 2 as well. The big difference, of course, being level 6 Warlock is the orders of magnitude stronger than a level 6 Jakiro. And then just constantly as they level up, Warlock is just going to get better, as Jakiro kind of doesn't. So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting time to be a Jakiro. Short blink from Abing there, trying to go for Palossand. Drain most of his mana. He's working with an Enchant Totem hit. Although, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything else.
Coming. There's really not much you can do on the even though he's maxing out the blink to get the low cooldown. How do you bring down an Earthshaker with a decent health pool that doesn't have mana? Like, you don't take advantage from the mana break anymore, meaning you don't have that extra damage on every hit. Oh, Jay. Taking a lot of damage, my friend. Hey, he's dead.
Shadow Word, couple right clicks, no wind run, though he does have a shackle. They still see him. Cat's taking a lot of damage himself, but he has the full wand almost, and with his straight TP back, he's fine. They kill off the Wind Ranger. It seems like mostly through right clicks, which is... It doesn't seem like that's supposed to be happening up against a skill like Wind Run, but hey, kill's a kill, so the Spectre is getting kills, is behind by quite a large margin compared to the AM, however, so these kills are just serving to keep the Spectre afloat.
Yeah, and it's pretty remarkable to even manage to bring her down, but she's also a really big kill actually. Like 300 gold is not a small amount of money for Spectre early on. Yeah, that's the Arcalay coming out. So Spectre has all the early game farming tools and was not pressured at all. He's about to hit level 6 in like 1 or 2 creep waves, and then you have an additional tool to actually go on the AM.
Or the DK, or really anyone. The Mirana, whoever she decides to pick a fight with, or the Puck, will get that assistance. For right now, the fight will be picked onto the Warlock, and he will be obliterated. That being said, Coil drops onto the Wind Ranger, forcing her to stick around. Fixers will take a little bit of damage from the Clockwork, but nowhere near enough to get the kill. Flare will also not be enough, even if he decided to fire it. So it's a 2 kill on this bottom lane. Spectre getting it rewarded just a little bit more. And Puck with a pretty solid rotation, and I like this as well. As soon as Puck leaves, you got Palossand to fill that slot. Earthshaker probably can't get a ton of gold here, but hey, just get a little bit of extra experience can go a long way.
I mean, that's really all you need. You want to reach at level 6. Like, eventually you have enough money for either the blink or the mana boots. Both of them are fine, but Still not a fan of the Earthshaker. I still have to be convinced by the 5-man Echo Slam, I guess.
I mean, we've seen him set up kills, but I don't think those kills are like kills only an Earthshaker could have gotten. Like, any hero with a stun would have been able to do that, right? Maybe that's a bad way for me to look at things. I tend to do that a lot. It's like, did this hero's unique abilities get them this kill? The Mirana? Yes. Like, right now, Shaker kind of helped out a lot in that one. But that was also because Jakiro kind of walked into melee range of it.
Yeah, kinda. That might have been the cause of death.
Oh, the smoke blowing on the bottom lane. They're under an obs as well. There is a ranged Dragon Tail, and they really want to push this tower. Even bringing in the Jakiro, and they have Focus Fire. They're just going to abandon ship. It's like, okay, you could have this tower. Or yeah, are they?
4 heroes here. This is so much space created. Oh, that's the Earthshaker rotating around.
There is a Puck with a coil. This seems like an overly risky move for Pepehands to defend.
I'm not quite sure. They have like good walls over here, so they see any setup that is coming in. They still stay a little bit more defensive. I think they want to pressure the mid. They see the Clockwork in the mid now, so Puck might choose to rotate. Yeah, there's the TP. Oh, we out of vision as well. They don't know about this. Mirana coming in as well.
Moonlight, coil onto 2 with the Haunt coming in as well. Jakiro is silenced and will be brought down without casting a single spell. And now this chain stuns onto the DK. There is a Shackle Shot which will not latch. And now the Desolate damage from the Spectre. It's not much. It's only level 1, but we'll start to cut through that. DK, is it enough though? No. He's got 3 points in the blood. Looks like that will keep him afloat. Cat is going to take quite a bit of damage from the Wind Run, but the Focus Fire will give her a little bit extra space. Spectre to walk through those trees. I don't think you can actually walk through that. No, that's a tight wall that only Spectre can walk through because of the dagger. They don't get the DK, but they do defend their tower, kill off the Jakiro. And the loss is, I guess, slightly less pressure on the AM. That's still a nice little win there for Pepehands.
Oh, puck. Oh, almost sniped it. He tried. Yeah. But yeah, Clockwork anyway. It's a 2k gold lead for Pepehands. 10 minutes against an AM with a Spectre in the team. And Spectre got a lion's share of the farm. Isn't actually on top of the nerf shot. That still belongs to the DK. Miran is closely following up though. And god, look at how much damage he actually does to the AM. Like 4 hits, AM halfway down. If he catches an arrow with a Starstorm, he's probably dead every time.
Only 1 point in that spell shield. It's, I guess, pretty standard. You don't really need to get a lot of spell shield most of the time, but yeah, being an anti-mage, you kind of expect to be resilient, let's say, versus those spells, and that's just simply not the case in this situation. They are going to find a random Warlock, but it's been Warlock every single time. Like, actually every single time to die. They have Mango. They have Hookshot. Oa, clear the sights. That's a little bit too far, so the Spectre is going to slip away, but I mean, they do take the tower, I guess, as well, but every single time they make a rotation, they run into the Warlock, and that's fine for Pepehands. And now the tower on top lane going to go down. Mirana's Maelstrom is still quite a ways away, but she's making some pretty good progress towards it. Right with the phase, and Akila, as you mentioned, is hitting it for an extremely high amount. And Abing trying to get some farm over in mid, but Coil, Waning Rift, these are not tools that Anti-Mage is going to be happy going up against. Really needs to get that Battle Fury, and he's still a long ways away. And the Windranger off on top lane. Starstorm and Leap. Okay, Starstorm, now you're dead. Well, that's another kill up on the top lane for the Earthshaker Mirana duo. Oa is going to arrive, and he's going to wander right into 2 heroes. Does trap the Earthshaker. He can get an Echo Slam off. That's about all he can do. Now the jumping from 2D, getting this double Starstorm, is going to clean up the clockwork. Now trying to right-click onto the AM, who does blink away. It's a 1-for-1 afterwards on top lane, but look, everyone, literally everyone on the Dire went up towards that top lane to get only an Earthshaker kill. This is not the right overlay. Fixed it. It's a good thing I'm a responsible streamer, guys.
Come on, you didn't have to hit us with the sarcasm already. It's not that late in the day.
Well, I mean, you still saw most of it, I guess. It's draft overlay. There's a problem with the draft overlay that's like not very intrusive is that if I look at it on the side, I don't really see anything that's too wrong. Oh, Chikiro?
Could be worse.
Chikiro places the obs, sees everyone. But I mean, like, knowing that Mirana and Earthshaker up here, it doesn't really offer you that much safety. They could still kill you even if you know that they're there. But you could also very easily kill them. Peloson, Hookshot, gonna land. Mirana is here to help out. Here comes the arrow. Oa is gonna get tagged by it. Peloson gets some distance, so now he can turn around and throw out some spells if he chooses to do so. DK coming in as well with the drums. And DK, he's 1-0-1 with the drum build. You kind of just want to find action everywhere, but not really able to find much outside of killing the Warlock. And now he's going to find the Dragon Tail into the puck, but not enough stuns to get the kill there. This is looking like a troubling situation for the Dire side. The Spectre is starting that Relic grind, and I don't think they can apply enough pressure to really slow her down.
I really want to know, like, who's gonna hit the late game first, because AM and Spectre are doing absolutely even in terms of farm, like 60 to 80 gold apart from each other. AM tends to farm a little bit faster. With the Radiant, Spectre can join in on kills easier. Especially with the Pepehands lineup, you have so much team fight. She can effectively jump in at the end of every kill and will guaranteed get 1 or 2 assists on it. So they're gonna be like super. It's a race to the top basically. Who gets the first 2-3 items?
Peloson gonna get jumped, but there is no detection, so the Moonlight Shadow will get Peloson free and clear. Perhaps he's still kind of in a dangerous spot, but he finds a hidey hole. Will TP out. Nice and secure for him. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's really a late game battle for the Pepehands squad. It's just more like a timing play. They'll have a Spectre, which is like, you know, not really a mid-game hero, but they'll just have a hero with Radiance. Like, that could be any hero. In this case, it just happens to be a Spectre, and you get that Radiance, you take a huge leap in power. An AM gets a Battle Fury, and he's okay. He hits kind of hard versus some heroes sometimes, but it's really the second, third item after that Battle Fury where AM becomes a truly dangerous hero. Whereas Spectre, yeah, on a single hero basis, she's kind of the same, but as a team fight contributor, she has leaps and bounds ahead of that AM. So get this Radiance, and I'm looking at Pepehands, who are probably going to try to make some sort of cataclysmic team fight happen close to that timing. Maybe even make that team fight happen to get her that Radiance. And they found
running into
two with the coil, and here comes the Haunt. Pretty much exactly this, except there's Radiance. Here comes the Rock as well. There goes the Wind Ranger, and now Oa is on the wrong side of the river. Echo Slam to keep him in. They do also land that kill onto Humble. Oa's going to die to the Shadow Word, I believe, of the Warlock, and that's going to be 3. So, yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Plus
like
Radiance on top
cooldowns,
of that, and you got yourself a stew. Oh, Abbing? Okay, he's spotted, but he's fine.
I really like what they're doing. Like, they have no hesitation to just use all of their cooldowns, no matter what. Like, Echo Slam to do 50 damage to Clockwork. Here we go. Like, Puck Coil into the already stunned enemies that are already dead. Don't matter. Get the kills. Like, that's super efficient, and they can transition with the Warlock Golem. Like, we see it right now. Like, the Golem just heals up, and they're gonna trade out a little bit of damage on the tower. It's gonna be a hard push because they have terrible heroes for pushing towers, to be quite frank. But hey, Spectre got money. Spectre got a relic soon.
2D. Look at top lane. Do you think this is happening? Do you think this is happening? I believe.
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
I don't know if he has enough damage. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he got him.
The proc on the
What
last
a
hit.
god.
Level 4 leap is so crazy, and he isn't even level 15 yet. Just imagine this at level 15 is absolutely crazy with the leap speed, because you get 100 extra attack speed onto this. Like, it's insane, I tell you.
Phase shift. Jaunt away. Oh, he can't go invis. He had it in the bottle, but the fade time was just a little bit too much. Good attempt there from Peloson to give him the save. And Shaker, still without his Blink Dagger, is kind of what you would expect. The hero really struggles to get that gold. Although he has only died once, so he should be able to pick it up at a reasonable-ish timing left in this game. But yeah, as you said, this Mirana is only going to get more terrifying. Perhaps at a certain point the AM is going to be able to turn things around on her, but that point is... it's a long ways away.
Yeah, like, I'm a big fan of Mirana. Have I mentioned that? That did...
Oh,
just...
Yeah,
you have,
where can people find you on your Twitter handle again? Could you give them a shout out there?
Yeah, it's Portomorph_moon, because the other one was taken by myself and I got the account locked, and it's pretty embarrassing, but... Let's not talk about that, but hey, as a Moonlight Shadow, there's rotation mid. And Nasio instantly has to run.
This DK needs to like, start doing something, I think. Like, not because he's been playing poorly or anything like that. It's just that he has Shadowblade drums that only has 2 charges left. And there really hasn't been much gained by having a DK go for this build. And no one else can really step up all that much. Like, the Wind Ranger at this point, Blightstone, Phase Boots, she could do a non-zero amount of damage, but just, like, pales in comparison to what everyone else has. So, yeah, they need this DK to start some shit. And he's going to try on the top lane with that Shadowblade. He may have tripped a sentry. They are going to get the hook shot and the tail. Chaotic Offering, though, going to combo break them. Mirana may have a chance to leap out, but no, she's shackled. And she's going to go down. In the meantime, Oa keeping everyone else back, but from the front, it's Fixers and Cat haunting forward. Fast Joe going to try to TP out. Looks like he'll be fine, as will the Wind Ranger. Clockwork has been dealt with. That's a 2-for-1. But for the Dire side, to have Anti-Mage free farming while that happens, that is a massive win for them.
Yeah, and it is 600 gold actually going the way of Detonator, despite the fact losing 2 heroes, because so much money from Mirana did go their way. That was a 7-kill streak. That was 613 gold going towards the DK. So yeah, DK on top of the network shot, AM closely following afterwards. Puck, Mirana, and Spectre all not completely struggling. They're still doing fine. It's mainly the Wind Ranger on the other side being behind. But like, where's your Radiance timing? That's it has been picked up, I believe.
Yeah, it's flying.
He bought something. Yeah, he bought it. It disappeared in a second I clicked. Yeah, I guess you have Radiance up, so wait for the next taunt, set up a team fight with the Golem. But you gotta hit everything. Like if you miss one of your spells, you run into a lot of trouble because you don't have the lockdown necessary anymore.
But this is the timing though, for Pepehands. When they have all their blink daggers, they have their items enough to do damage with the Radiance and the Maelstrom into the Mjolnir, which Mirana may or may not have committed to. I don't know. It's not time to look at that right now. The AM gonna blink deep into the trees. Earthshaker guessing wrong there. But the only thing they don't have, of course, are their big teamfight ultimates, which will be coming up in just a minute. But this is the time for Pepehands to gain a more substantial lead in this game. If they're able to make just one of those teamfights happen, they're in a commanding position. And if it botches, well, then they're in a lot of trouble. So it's do or die time. This is crunch time, and it'll start with this mid lane push from the DK. He is going to get the tower with the poison. Coil, though, drops onto 2 in the background. Clockwork. Fissure is going to cancel his TP. And he will die, as the Wind Ranger is going to be able to get out of there. For a tower, that's worth it. They don't spend anything substantial, though. That was only a coil.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, a coil for a kill. Good enough. And all the equivalents are coming online fairly soon. 15 seconds on the X-Slam, 20 on the Golem. Horn just got up. They're gonna set out for a team fight. They want to get rid of the last team on bottom, I would assume. What's AM's farm looking like? Yeah, TPing out. Has the Asha up, is on the way to the Mantis Style, has completed on one side, and still Brown Boots. Come on, don't do Brown Boots if you need HP. A little bit triggered.
I feel like most of the, like, probably 80+%, it's phase into, not phase, power treads into Battle Fury, like in that order.
Yeah, the power treads is so good because AM is the king of tread switching. Like you get so much efficiency out of it from just swapping into agility. It gives you free damage, it gives you a free mana pool. You will never struggle with stats again. Oh mana, that is.
Plus, just more attack speed means more mana burnt, means more damage. So, like, he gets that amplifier there. I'm sure he's gonna get it maybe after this Mantis style, at some point. But all the cooldowns are up for Pepehands, and they need to make sure that the Spectre is farming and then gets the chance to haunt it. There is a Mjolnir completed on Tootie. He has completed that, so static charge.
And he's still 15.
Yeah, oh, he's gonna be dishing lightning. Zeus was banned, but was he really? Thor was not banned. Arrow comes in. Oh, the DK should have seen it coming. Haunt now coming in, giving them the full intel. They dodge the ice path. They get on top of the DK and annihilate him and the Jakiro both. Off to the side.
The money fissure.
Yeah, it looks like everyone else is going to disengage, but the party horn on the wrong team. But yeah, that's what you got to do. It was on 2 heroes. It'll get them a tower this time. Honestly, I'm sure they're hoping for a little bit more next time. But they still have the Warlock ultimate and the Puck ultimate. So if another fight is to break out, it's not like they're without resources.
Just look at the damage. 1,700 damage by the Mirana just by simply using the Mjolnir, leaping in with 1 Starstorm, and like hitting. It's so insane how much damage you actually do with it. It's one of the most underrated heroes right now, I would say. She has been getting a lot more traction recently. But we've even seen some PL and a lot of Wind Ranger picks, and just being able to quickly get a source of anti-evasion is just amazing. Especially if you build into MKB at one point, you do so much damage they can't deal with. AM jumps straight on a Puck bot.
Puck is still there. Puck still has the coil, although he's going to get hit with that hook shot. First of all, Earthshaker drops his stuns to the AM. Not much damage going into him, though, as from the back line, it's going to be the Wind Ranger. Gets the Focus Fire on. They drop the rock onto Oa. And Fixers is in a lot of trouble. Jay still on his tail with the Focus Fire. Will be able to bring him down, but now the Radiance Burn should take down that Wind Ranger. Fissure, in the meantime, takes down the Clockwork. It'll be a 3-for-1 as the... yeah, the Jakiro actually was still dead from before, so it's only a 2-for-1. But they get the Puck. Again, costs them a handful of support heroes. The bigger thing, though, Warlock Brock now down.
Yeah, the Rock is down. Exactly. Like, yes, you give some gold away in the favor of Pepehands, but... Well, the rock is out, meaning your AM will most likely be free farming for the next 2 minutes. They also know that the hold is in cooldown for another 40 seconds. Same goes with the Echo Slam. Again, you force cooldowns and you farm while the cooldowns are there, and we still see AM and DK staying above the Spectre levels, and so far he's half an item ahead, and he's gonna build into Vanguard now, so he's gonna get some sort of tankiness, even though he's still skipping the treads. I get really angry about that.
He's
Sorry.
just planning for Boots of Travels, so it's like, you know, well, why double up on Boots?
Yeah, right.
Arrow?
Right.
Okay.
Warning shot.
Pretty sure if that lands, he's dead.
Yeah, if he catches an arrow, even if it's just 3 seconds, he's dead. 1,200 HP. Like, this Mirana dishes out 2,000 in, let's say, 2.5 seconds to leap.
Need to get some Thor luck right there with the Mjolnir. Just a handful of them. You don't need much. Yeah, Mirana is definitely a scary hero, and the thing is, like, you could leap in to get that attack speed. If the anti-mage unstuns and, like, puts up a fight because the hook shot comes or whatever, like, you still have leaps out. So it's not even, like, a full commitment thing.
The thing is, AM has 1 blink, you effectively have 3. You have 1 to leap in. If he starts turning on you, you just kite him with the leaps. This is what makes us so effective against heroes like this. There's not many heroes that can stack up to it. Like Spectre would be an excellent hero against it because you don't take as much damage. You have high movement speed. It's really about if you have high movement speed, you can chase with her. Otherwise, you're pretty screwed without any support nearby.
Gotta say though, this Detonator side is doing a pretty good job at splitting the map, making sure they don't group up too much. If you do, you probably just get eviscerated and lose team fights, and you're really sad. But keeping themselves split up, looking for these DK picks, looking for the hookshot angles, that's what they have to do in order to really gain a substantial edge in this game. Puck, in the meantime, top lane, has an illusion blocking Oa. Path is clear right now, but now here comes the Dragon Tail. With the BKB active, Puck is going to get chain stunned to death. Easy kill. That's what happens when you split. You kind of get antsy, and usually Pucks just shouldn't be there.
I was really scared for a second because there was a BKB drop and he pinged it. I saw like, no way Puck just dropped his BKB. The little moment. Just imagine. Accidentally dropping your BKB and then you get killed in a moment.
It could be worse if you drop a Bloodstone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes if it has only 1 charge, why build it anyways, right?
This soul booster is useless. Get rid of it. They do kill off the Puck.
The good old no backpack days where you actually had to put some items on the ground sometimes at the secret shop, and then there's a Ricky in the game, and you have to fear.
Detonator get a tower on top of that kill as well. They are moonlit though. Jay is gonna get haunted. I think he's gonna get haunted. There's a fissure there and a dagger, and he already used Wind Run. But that is a pretty heavy commitment for just this Wind Ranger. Okay, they need to get this Wind Ranger to make this at all worth it. She is running like the wind, and she is out. Haunt is down.
That was really big. That should not have happened.
They definitely thought that more people were there.
They still have 2 of their, or 3 of their teamfight ultimates. That's only the Haunt, I guess. I gotta make sure they don't get caught off guard
Hookshot gets blocked by something. They still land the shackle onto the Spectre. She has a Reaver, and they do have a rock. Fatal Bonds onto everyone. Here comes the Echo Slam. There goes the Clockwork and the DK immediately, and Cat is gonna be fine. Anti-Mage comes in from the back lines, does assassinate the Warlock, but Warlock already did his job, so he doesn't care. The tower now gonna be destroyed. And yeah, that's the rest of the teamfight ultimates, though Puck is still with his, whatever, Puck, gender, I don't know. He's not here, so they're just going to keep moving forward. The Anti-Mage is without his finishing blow, but still pretty powerful here. He's going to jump straight into a stun. That was unfortunate for Albing, but he's able to match style up and do some pretty serious damage, but into that Mirana damage. Oh, he is going to be able to get out of there before he gets stunned up any further. The tower will take some chip, probably will survive. But ultimately, that's what you're looking for if you're Pepehands. Those are the type of team fights you want to take.
Yeah, this was a 5-man Fatal Bonds into Echo Slam. Like, the Warlock did 1,600 damage in that fight. That is due to the Golem doing a little bit, but at least 1,000 of that just came from the Fatal Bonds with the Echo Slam. That was such a beautiful combination, and you had the Starstorm. You talked about it directly after the draft. We're gonna see like a Starstorm homing in on them with a Fatal Bond, so that's like easily 500 damage across the board. That is I don't know, like, if they keep executing these team fights, I don't see a chance for the Detonator.
Fatal Bonds is also pure damage, right? Or like HP removal?
No, it takes the damage stat on which damage it actually binds together.
Ah.
So if it's magic damage, it does magic damage. If it's pure, it's pure. Yeah. It hijacks the damage type.
Alright. Well then, Anti-Mage, with his magic resistance, at least has some shot against that Echo Slam.
Radiant are scanning.
Okay, I feel like it was HP removal at some point, and that was probably...
Yeah, and then HP removal was, well, removed from the game.
Yeah.
They changed it.
Oh, they're still gonna Moonlight in. Looks like there is a sentry. They're gonna jump straight onto the Earthshaker, but the Haunt is back up. They're just gonna jump right onto the DK, but he has his BKB up, so he's gonna be just fine. Huge Macropyre Ice Path is gonna kill off the Warlock and the Shaker both, but now it's the Mirana. She's just sitting there firing. Onto the DK, he is so tanky though. He barely took any damage at all. Aubing really doesn't want to re-engage into this, and they are trying to look for the DK, trying to look for the Clockwork. They are gonna spot the Clock with the Fissure. They'll kill him. It's a couple of supports to die on both sides. That was rather underwhelming considering the scale of that fight, honestly. But, yeah, this is just what happens when you have a DK, an Anti-Mage who are this big. You drop all these spells, and they kind of just tend to live. The problem is that they can't do it all by themselves. At least not yet. They're not at that point yet. So, a full health Spectre, a full health Mirana, they can keep pushing forward. Did cost Paloss a buyback. But, I mean, he's here. They need the stuns if they're going to make this push happen.
Yeah, they're just running up higher and they have a Spectre of a heart. Good luck killing the Spectre that easily. Like, is there Silver Edge yet? No, there's no Silver Edge on the Dragon Knight.
What?
A little bit interesting.
Shackle.
I wonder if it's...
Cat's 20 talent. He took the slow bonus. Oh, they're going to jump in Abyssal onto the Mirana. Force step out. She got the Lincoln Sphere. And now here comes the combo in response. The Echo Slam onto the Anti-Mage. Jump back in. Aubing is going to snap the coil and die. He does not have a buyback either. He got the Abyssal Blade instead of the buyback gold, it seems. And now it's going to be full racks as Fixer's going to slay the dragon in the background. Great defensive play onto the Mirana. Mostly from, again, that buyback onto Earthshaker. If Earthshaker's not there, Mirana for sure dies. Looks like that is going to be 2 racks. At least.
That was such a big team effort. They also put the Lincoln Sphere on him, so AM had to cancel his ult animation, which he did, at least he did that, right? Instead of putting it into Lincoln Sphere. But, man, this Mirana is surviving. I think that was a game-winning Lincoln Sphere. Same with the Earthshaker, just stepping in, and yeah, it's gonna cost him 3 racks. There's no buyback on AM, you mentioned it. Went for the Abyssal, and it almost worked. Like, if they got the Mirana... Backed up protection. Wow. But if they get the Mirana there, then AM can freely roam around the fight because nobody can really kill him. Spectre doesn't have the damage at this point. But instead, you lose 2 lines of racks. You only don't lose the game just yet because backdoor protection kicks in. You're gonna lose another shrine, which is also the most important shrine for the Dire because this is your access to Roche. I can imagine they just they will just run into Roche after this, after maybe taking a shrine.
I mean, there's not much in the way of split push going towards their base. 2 racks in the lead. They have all the obs in the enemy base as well. Again, I'm going to point out Weird Spectre not taking that level 20 talent in the health. I feel like that's generally the norm, but she still has heart and 3k HP. Seems pretty good. Now a Lincoln Sphere for the Mirana herself, so she doesn't have to rely on that puck to give her that spell block any longer. We're looking at a 13k lead, and granted, for the Dire, that they're still doing like pretty admirably considering that kill deficit because of all this farm going on the AM, but he doesn't have a BKB, and if he doesn't have that, that means the Shaker, that means the Mirana and Warlock, they all have a chance of just locking him down and completely shutting him out of the fight. He needs magic immunity, I think, definitely more than this Butterfly.
Yeah, I agree. This is looking pretty rough. Like, AM just getting killed like that, it's usually not something you would expect. And I take a look at the talents he took. Like, he went fairly defensive, you could say, but on level 10 he took the attack speed over the strength, which makes him naturally not as tanky. Then he skipped on the agility for the blink cast range. Like, it's all stacked up. Oh, DK died with BKB.
They haunted for that, but that is so worth it because he is down for 70. They do buy back on the Jakiro, but like they don't have a Warlock on their team. They don't have the Earthshaker, so they're gonna go in, try to go for the puck. Maybe they're going to be able... No, the Abyssal Blade Overwhelm doesn't last long enough, so the puck is able to get out of there. They're going to hookshot back in. They really want this Fairy Dragon. They just can't get him. In the meantime, the Spectre and the Mirana, they're tearing everyone else up in the background as they drop a coil. Only onto one, actually. Does not connect onto the Anti-Mage. Force Staff out into the Blink. He's going to be just fine, but the Wind Ranger, she's going to fall instead. It's a double kill for Tootie as they go right back to the objectives. Buyback on the Clockwork, but he doesn't have a hook shot, so he can't get back in. Wow, Flare? Yeah, defend your racks. Try your best. Wind Ranger as well going to buy out. Another 30 seconds is needed till they're at their full strength. And in the meantime, Ultimate check, Warlock, Earthshaker, they both have theirs. With another Haunt in a minute, they're going to jump right in. But oh, Bane gets silenced as soon as he goes in. The Warlock Rock is way off. What? Okay. They just whiff everything. I mean, I can understand missing the rock, but come on, Echo Slam too? You're really going to do that?
Zoning.
It doesn't matter,
Zoning.
though. I mean,
it's only
they have
zoning.
Megas.
Don't flame. No flame, please. Still practicing. But yeah, one last attempt by AM on the Earthshaker this time. But
Oh, they landed an arrow? No, they didn't actually. They threw in an arrow to the pile. Maybe it was just really short duration. And Azra's gonna just jump right in. He wants his Warlock just because, but Warlock is expendable fully. Megas are gonna start flooding the base, and everyone else from Pepehands, they're gonna be chased out by the AM. 2D has one more Blink and a BKB. And a Moonlight Shadow with no detection in the area, so he's fine. I mean, AM, DK, they're not bad at holding Megas, especially since they have Mjolnir on the DK, but I don't know, it just seems like an inevitability. Like, Roshan is still an objective that they can very easily take.
yeah, I mean, it's AM against Mega Creeps at this point. Even more than AM, I don't think you have much of a chance pulling through here. Like, how often do we see Mega Creep comebacks? Like, I guess usually it is around like 35 to 40k gold at this point. They should be behind, and it's only 17. But it's a Spectre. Let's face it, this game is over, right?
I mean, maybe if it was like the other way around and like you swap, oh, they're finding the Mirana, though BKB leaping around. She's looking for that Anti-Mage. By the way, the Spectre just kills off Humble without even realitying to the Jakiro. They have a Sheep Stick on the Wind Ranger now. She has a gem, or had a gem. He's gonna go down. I think Spectre just pressing a Haunt kills Jakiro. I think that's what happened.
Because he was a little bit low from the creeps in mid, and then got caught off guard and just died to it, yeah. He has no ults, he only has a cloak, no defensive items whatsoever. I mean, let's face it, he has 2,500 net worth at 40 minutes on a Jakiro. There's not much to do against the Spectre Haunt.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now they're just gonna go right in. Anti-Mage is farming, or was farming, gonna teleport back. They have one shot, but if they go in, there's an Echo Slam waiting for them. There's a coil. No Warlock ult just yet. 20 seconds left. Hook shot in towards the puck. Overwhelm is there as well, but the Warlock gets glimmered. So he's going to be just fine. In the meantime, the Spectre just soloing everyone. They're going to jump in now towards the Earthshaker, take him down. Mirana as well dropping low and will fall. The Cat's still standing pretty strong. They have the Hex up onto the AM, and he is in a lot of trouble. The game is over, I guess. He just left.
Okay. I guess.
Dude, he party horned and then left. Look at that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, alright, that's illegal.
Party horn,
Don't leave
Peace.
the game if you
back.
haven't called GG.
You know, they're not. I'm pretty sure that Abing doesn't... Oh, he does no mana, actually. So, oh no, he does have mana. He
He
could have survived
reconnected to say GG and then leaves.
Dude, he disconnected, comes back in question marks because all his allies are gone.
I think he just forgot to press enter on the GG and left.
Don't unpause.
Then pause.
Well,
yes, the good old BM pause at the end of the game, saying like, "Hold on, toilet." Sorry, it's what I do in my pop games.
admins, please punish Pepehands for unpausing. Well, guys, that's
disqualified.
I mean, it was a
We
little
South
bit better
America
than game
now.
one, right? It wasn't quite as stompy as the first game, but it was still like pretty close.
Pretty stompy.
Yeah.
I think the pig made it. I'm not a fan of the anti-mage, especially not the Dragon Knight was actually farmed. He made a lot of space for them in the early mid game. He had items at a reasonable time. I just see two big mistakes that Detonator made. I think instead of an anti-mage, just having a hero that can effectively trade out against Mirana on the lane that packs a punch, like even going to someone like the Troll Warlord or the Monkey King, over AM would have been better. Specifically, I was a fan of the Monkey King because you can build you build into BKB anyways at one point against so many stuns. You can upgrade to that Silver Edge, and that's the second point. Like Nazio on the Dragon Knight, he had the Shadow Blade extremely early, and he never upgraded to Silver Edge against the Spectre, and I think that really broke the fight for them.
Yeah, seeing now that he's a Chrysalis, which I didn't even realize. I mean, price is not too dissimilar, but definitely Silver Edge over Crit. Maybe even over the Mjolnir upgrade from Maelstrom. Like,
I think
we
it's
point on all these
item.
like small item things, but having a Jakiro who's just kind of dying all the time, having a Wind Ranger who's doing the same, and I guess a Clockwork as well died quite a few times. It's like you can only feed your supports away so many times before you need your Anti-Mage and your DK to get to critical mass. He did get the BKB by the end of it, Anti-Mage, but critical mass was not achieved. And even if he did get it, like, Blink Sheep on the puck, is you're probably just dead. So, guys, it's going to be Pepehands moving forward.